Yeah.
Welcome to a Sunday night edition of Talking Iowa Hawkeye Sports. We're here to entertain you. Okay, and we will entertain you. Okay, I got the link up there. You can see it right here. Or you can go in the comments. I got the link if you guys want to call into the show and join the show. Go for it. I won't require your photos, your pictures to be on here if you don't want to be seen. But if you'd like to come up here and comment and be part of the conversation, please do. We would welcome it. Okay. Also, taking care of business first. We gained our one subscriber back that we lost last week, so we're up at 791 now. Trying to get to 800. Let's get over that 800, guys. Let's do it before kickoff. It's only 8 or 9. 9. We need 9 more people. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Help me get it done by sharing out this show, people. And if you haven't subscribed, hit it right there. It's right there in front of you.
Hit it.
Hit it. Okay. Be sure to like it too, though, because the likes really help the algorithm. I don't know. Yeah. And I noticed I was watching some of my previous videos to get a feel for things, and I see commercials are popping up on them. So, you know how annoying commercials can get right in YouTube. Right in the middle of a sentence, it goes to a commercial. Anyway, and we do have to take care of the business and pay some bills. So we're going to do our cocaine coffee thing, guys. Cocaine coffee. Try it. Yeah. Make sure you go to cocainecoffee.com and put in Villains15 for your 15% off. I'm still waiting for my coffee to show up.
It will.
Well, I'm going to have, I don't drink coffee, but I'm going to have my wife drink it and come on here and give you her live testimonial, what she thinks.
Oh, boy. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I don't know if I can get her to do it, but I'm going to make her do it. I'm going to make her do it.
I'm sure she's a lot better looking than either one of us. So,
well, definitely. I struck pay dirt.
When I bet you did, Dean. You old playboy, you.
Yeah. All righty. All right, guys. We got a lot of things we want to talk about. I don't know how long the show will go. You know how it goes sometimes. Sometimes we go forever. Sometimes we don't.
Nope.
Last week's show went 2.5 hours. Is it good? Hawkeye 2017. I know who this is. I won't give his real name because if he wanted it, he put it up there. Is it good? Similar to Black Rifle. Okay. Is that the name of a coffee or is that just a typo?
Sounds like a good name for coffee, Black Rifle. It does. Give you a little shot, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know one thing,
He
Dan. I
comes
know
on
one thing.
the show every now and then.
I know one thing, Dean. Coffee with a little Bailey's in it ain't bad either. So.
Well, Bailey's by itself is wonderful too. You ever just had it on the rocks?
No, I'm not much of a drinker, but
Me either.
yeah,
But
yeah.
my boss turned it onto me when we went on an all expense paid vacation by our company, and
Cool.
we went to the Dominican Republic, and we were at the resort. Those drinks were first.
My sister-in-law likes a little Bailey's in her coffee, is why I said that. So that's for you, Molly. So
okay, Hawkeyes 2017 says mixing out of cans. They have different styles. It's a popular brand I see all the time in Iowa. It's probably all over. Yeah, he said the Black Rifle is the type of coffee. I've never heard of it. I'm going to be honest with you. But everybody has their own coffee that everybody tries.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I've never heard of.
I should probably push this back. I'm almost covered up. See if that helps. You guys can see I'm wearing my Fever hat. They do play here in a little bit. Mm-hmm. I see she's not in the starting lineup, but I also saw that thing that said she was probable to play tonight. So we'll see if Caitlin's going to play or not.
She's going to play 20 to 25 minutes is what Coach White said. So
okay, so she is going to play, but apparently she's not in the starting lineup.
Time limitations. So.
Yeah, work her back yet. Okay, well, let's get first started. Kind of Hawkeye related because these involve our opponents that we're going to play. You got news about Ward Manuel, the AD at Michigan, retiring, quit, fired. What's he doing?
Kind of forced out, I think. Just said he is out at Michigan. That doesn't sound like a retirement to me. But
okay.
He ran the crookedest athletic department, and Michigan was always one of the cleanest. When Bo Schembechler was running it, they never cheated at anything, so last thing Ward did was give the new basketball coach a 2-year contract. Some people are complaining about that, and I go, what do you expect him to do? If you didn't give the guy a multi-year contract, why would a recruit come? He wouldn't think he was even there. And as far as buying him out after 1 year or something, well, Michigan's got the richest guy in the world, Larry Ellison, paying for everything. So why worry about it,
Okay, so who is the new basketball coach and interim assistant?
Yeah, Boynton, I think his name is, a young guy.
Okay. All he's got to do is if he wins this year and wins a national championship, take the interim tag off his name.
If he does a good job, they'll probably take it off his name.
Yeah,
take it off, but I have no clue. Some people say the Texas Tech coach will end up there.
Yeah, I kind of thought the Michigan players would jump into a portal, but I think they're all willing to stick it out, probably because the guy assistant, but he's with all those guys. So
I don't know where you could get. There's only a couple programs where you could get paid like you do at Michigan. So
yeah, I know it.
Oh my God, $7 million a year and stuff like that is like what? Anyway, but the good thing about it is about the coach leaving for the NBA is now it looks like Caden Daughtry, the great point guard recruit, he's pretty much Iowa is his number one now. It was us in Michigan, and I'm not saying he's going to come to Iowa, but right now he sure talks about Iowa. He even said in an interview, it might have been to Tom Kakert, that the Michigan coach leaving really hurts Michigan. So
yeah, well, I guess that's up to the interim coach to try to get him to come. But speaking of which, Daughtry, when you have Ben McCollum bring Bennett Sturts to your game, I mean that's got to help a lot. And they said Bennett Sturts showed up 2 days in a row.
Yeah, and I think Sandfort did too. Peyton.
Peyton did. Oh,
I think
yeah,
Peyton talked. I
because
think
he's in
Peyton talked to him again.
yeah, because they're all in Vegas for the 3-on-3 summer league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Dix is on the team too, and Josh Dix still loves Iowa, but Ben McCollum's going to want to be the one. Him and Bennett Sturts will be the ones that seal the deal,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because the other two played for Fran, but
mhm.
but yeah, gosh darn it, I gotta try to find those summer league games because I want to see Dix and Sanford and Bennett Sturts all play on the same team together.
Yeah, I think they're on today, maybe right now. Oh, I don't know, but they always put up links for it, but it's on the On3 thread. But I can never. It's never a link that I can use. So
Okay, Hawkeyes 2017 says I got tickets to Iowa versus Virginia Tech in Sioux City. Isn't cheap. Gotta pay for the players. Players high demand and coming in their best season in decades. Yeah. I mean,
one other talking point I wanted to make is from now on, whenever a great job in the SEC or Big Ten comes up, I worry about Bethcats staying at Iowa. So
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, we probably want to just mention too that I think it's no big news now. It's old. Is Jamie Pollard going to retire at the end of June next year? At the end of this year, or I guess it'd be this next school year, end of June, 2027. Yeah. And I don't know. Somebody said he probably led the most successful sports program in the most successful that Iowa State had been. I don't know how true that is. I know that Iowa State's had some great seasons, but for the most part, under Pollard, Iowa State's just had mediocre seasons. Nothing special.
But they've had the best stretch with Campbell as coach of any coach as far as football. Football's the big dog, and of course,
even with McCartney running the program.
McCartney's all-time record, and Dan, I hope you're not listening to this, Dan, but I think his all-time record, I don't know if it's over 500. He was the winningest coach ever at Iowa State, but his winning percentage, wasn't, it was probably a little over 500, but not much.
Okay.
From my
anyway,
I'm sure somebody will look it up and tell us,
Yeah. Nick Slick, he just said they just played. Sturts had 13, Sanford had 11, and I don't know. He doesn't mention Dick, so I don't even know if Dick's played or not. So thank you for that update, Nick Slick.
Yep. And then of course Pollard, the men's basketball coach. I'd put him over any men's basketball coach at Iowa State as far as his consistent winning every single year. I mean, but
okay, getting back to Daughtry a little bit. If we land him, does that open up the door for other recruits to come in, big time recruits? Because there's no doubt this guy's a big time recruit.
Well, he'll be our only other recruit this year. We don't have any other spots, but in the future, it'll certainly help. But the guy that opens up the big time recruiting is named Ben McCollum. Getting to the Elite Eight this year didn't hurt.
I wanted to point something out.
A
Nebraska player went to court. He used up his quote eligibility for the 5-on-5 this year, and he went to court and he apparently won, and him and 20 some odd players that actually graduated and used up their 4-year eligibility can come back and play now for a 5th year. But I don't know who all those players are, but I know it was started by a Nebraska player. So does this open up the door for Banks to finally come back? Because it looks like they're moving on without him right now.
I have no information on that lawsuit, nor any. When I last I looked 15 minutes ago. There was no news that I seen. You know, the NCAA says that if you used up your 4 years before this fall, you don't get it. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
sure the NCAA will probably appeal that, and then some other judge might agree with the NCAA, but I don't know.
yeah, the Nebraska High Supreme Court will rule in favor of Nebraska.
It's like the judge that said Sorsby was eligible. I knew
Yeah.
that. I knew that wouldn't last very long. But.
Yeah. Okay. Some sad news. We've all come to see it on video games and then home games. Iowa water tower is coming down.
Yep.
You know, it's been reported for a few years ago that it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad because you want to get on TV and you want to see that water tower there. If you're on the right side of the stands, you get to see that water tower. That's part of Iowa icon. It's an icon. They need to keep that sucker up there. Just repaint it, and you don't have to use it. You don't have to use it.
They took a picture today, and all that's left of that top globe that holds the water is there's a bottom part of the Tiger Hawk is still there. That'll be probably gone within the week, so I'm gonna miss it. But
I think we're all gonna miss it. I think they should have found a way to keep that thing, but I think they're trying to make room for another parking lot or parking ramp. You know,
probably.
that hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That new NCAA football video game cover looks like American Pie. Well, I don't have the game, and I'm not playing video games much anymore because I got rid of my Xbox One, and so they don't make that NCAA football game for Xbox One. So, and I didn't want to go out and spend $300 or $400 to upgrade, and so I haven't seen the cover. Anybody who's seen the cover, please feel free to comment. And Hawkeyes 2017, there's a link right there. If you want to come on the show, just click it and come on. You're more than welcome.
I'm too busy following real sports to follow any simulations or PlayStation games or whatever they are. So
I think somebody posted a video game of the Iowa State game, and I think we lost.
The simulation that they put up of Iowa State yesterday, we won 41-14 or something.
Okay, all righty. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Not that it matters.
Yeah, I just want to get to some other things. AJ Ferrari, I put that down there because he is an ex-Hawkeye. He was here for a part of a season before he got into that famous fight or whatever he did with his own teammate at the what would they call that thing at in Coralville that they did? That little tournament thing they did.
I don't.
But anyway, he's gotten around and he's been charged with domestic abuse, I guess, against a woman, a girl.
And that ain't the first time. That's why Brands wanted to bring him back to Iowa, and Beth told Brands absolutely no way, and that was because of a violent thing against a woman before. So.
Okay, yeah. Now, we don't know if it's true or not, so I'm just reporting what he's being charged with. He is suing. They've got a lawsuit or something going on, or a court date where he's going to tell his side of the story to prove that he's not wrong. The woman is apparently pregnant. I don't know if it's his or not. They don't say. But I do want to say that he had a girl that he dated here in Bakersfield while he was at Cal State Bakersfield. And I've talked to that girl at length. And he was nothing but nice to her and special to her. And, and the only reason why they're not together is because he left Bakersfield and they didn't want to do a long distance relationship, but they keep in contact.
If I remember the previous incident when he was left Iowa, or maybe that's when he got kicked off Oklahoma State or wherever he was. That might have been.
I think that's where he was. Did he get kicked off that team?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was a really good, he's a great wrestler. He is great, but
Hmm.
that incident might have been in Texas or something, but I'm not sure. But anyway,
Aren't they from Texas or something? The Ferraris.
probably, I don't know.
And whatever happened to the other brother, the middle brother, coming to Iowa? He chose to go elsewhere. I wonder why he chose not to come to Iowa, but Angelo did. And I don't,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
enough about, I don't, I remember what I remember and that's it. So,
Okay. Alrighty. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Apparently you were following the baseball draft today, so I put that down here because you mentioned a couple of baseball people. Gable Mitchell was drafted by the Blue Jays in the 6th round, and a recruit that you did not name was recruited by the Bull Sox in the 10th round, or drafted. I mean,
and he's already signed with them. He,
so we're not. So he's not coming to
when
Iowa.
I'll just give you a little bit of information
Hmm.
to the people out there. The way the baseball draft is, each baseball team gets this pool of money. I don't know if it's 8 million. I don't know what it is, but that's how much money they can spend signing their draft picks. So if they get some big person in the first round that they got to give 4 million to, they might not be able to sign a 10th round draft pick. But I think 38 out of 42 10th round draft picks last year or something signed with the team that drafts them. And on average, this kid, on average, he'd have got about $200,000 to sign with the Red Sox. I think he was a left-handed pitcher. I don't know if it was Lathrop or something. I don't know. But anyway, and but depending on who else the Red Sox drafted, it's like the Cubs one year drafted a guy in the 1st round that was kind of a reach, and then they signed him cheap. And then they signed a pitcher in like the 8th round named Jackson Ferris, who could have been drafted way higher, but he said, no, I'm going to college. And the Cubs gave him like $4 million to sign. And then they after he pitched real good for the Cubs one year in the minors, they traded him to the Dodgers for Michael Bush, their first baseman that they have now. So I don't know. This kid could have signed with the Red Sox for 120,000. He could have got 300,000. But that's kind of the way the money works in the minor leagues. And since him, there's been two more Hawkeyes drafted, one a high school player like 20th round. He's probably going to come to Iowa. 20th round, they usually don't go to the pros. And the other guy was a guy that's a senior, I think, maybe a shortstop or something that was drafted by somebody. So
Okay. Alrighty. Hawkeye 27 season says, I'll join you guys some other time. I'm getting a new laptop eventually. It won't let me join you guys on the show off the YouTube app. Appreciate you both.
I just used my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, you
But
can use your phone, guys. It works. The
the
phone works too.
and then you don't have to have a picture up anyway. But
Yeah.
anyway, the other Hawkeye news was they got a transfer catcher who's really good. He was at Mississippi or Mississippi State, and he got some brain cancer, so they kicked him off the team. But Rick Heller took him, and he's a really good catcher. I think he's only got 1 year left, maybe. But
brain cancer's not good. My father-in-law, from the moment that they diagnosed him with brain cancer, he was dead within 6 months.
I know, but this kid ain't like that. It just
Okay.
it's more minor, I think, and I think he got it like a year ago or something. I don't know, but anyway, and I don't remember his name. So,
Alrighty. All right, let's move on to the Iowa football weights. Iowa released its new weights for the roster, and you found some interesting weight changes that you wanted to go over.
yeah, and there's 113, I think, on the list, and there's a couple guys that ain't even on there. that are walk-ons that they, for some reason, they ain't on there yet. Maybe they haven't showed up. Maybe they're not showing up for school until the fall. I don't know. But
Hey,
anyway,
wait a minute. Stop for a second. I thought we can only have like 110 on the roster.
No, as long as your walk-ons that were on have been on there for 3 years, you
Okay,
can
grandfather in. Okay.
Yeah, so that'll keep going for probably another year or so. So the guys like Hubert and Gaffney, who could start at Iowa this year at defensive tackle, they don't count, even though they're walk-on. They're walk-ons, and Iowa's probably paying them $100,000, at Iowa. Guys like that don't count.
Okay.
So they're called grandfathered in. So.
All right.
You want me to go through my list? Or?
Yeah, go. Why don't you go through it? I'll interject any questions or comments I got as you go.
And I always look forward to these weight gains because kids change at Iowa, and you kind of keep track of it. The two biggest weight gains were 23 pounds. It was Fitzgibbons, who is, I call him a red shirt freshman. I guess they're year 2 players now. He's a defensive tackle. He used to weigh 300 pounds, and then they thought he was fat, so they got him down to 265, and he put on 23 pounds since the spring, and now he's at 288. He's a really good young defensive tackle out of Chicago.
Yeah, our coaches, they like, if you come in too fat, they like tearing you down and building you back up.
They want it as much muscle as they can get without carrying weight that's unneeded. Marshall Yonda, when he come to Iowa, he weighed 330 some pounds. Yeah. Kirk took him down to 266 and then got him back up. His normal playing weight at Iowa, his 2 years at Iowa was like 310 or 312.
I'm going to pause you for just a second. Nick Slick has an update on Brett Harris, the recruit you were talking about. Isn't a transfer. He was a high school commit, and Ole Miss pulled his scholarship offer.
Really?
He has all of his college eligibility left, so he's got 4 years or 5 now.
5 years.
5 years. 5 years. Thank you, Nick, for Nick. We appreciate guys like you who correct us on those things. We appreciate it.
Yep. The next guy that gained 23 pounds is a freshman walk-on. Come in as a wide receiver at 210 pounds, and I seen in the spring game they'd moved him to tight end. So he might be another Benami, But anyway, he's put on 23 pounds. He's up to 233 already.
I'll be right back while you finish. I wish we had a third person.
I'll keep going. And then Jack Jonda, the Chicago area defensive tackle, another true freshman at 17 years old or 18. He came in at 250, and he's already up to 272. He's the type of guy that'll probably be like a Anthony Nelson or Jeff Nelson, could be a big defensive end like Anthony Nelson, or he could be a big defensive tackle. There's no fat on this guy. Then the other guy that is the coaches and Jennings Dunker is so enthralled with is Mr. Reardon, who's also a true freshman from the Chicago area. Jennings Dunker said he has the quickest feet of anybody he's seen at Iowa in the offensive line. He has gained 22 pounds, and now he's over 300. So, and Coach Barnett said he has the abilities of Trevor Lauk. He's quicker footed than Trevor Lauk was, but he has the same abilities with his hands and stuff like that. But don't be thinking he's going to do much. Barnett also said Reardon will not. He said none of the freshmen will play this year, on the offensive line much. Won't help much because they don't know how to play college football yet. It's a physical difference. Then the big transfer that we like so much that looks like a mountain of a man, Olabaju, the transfer, who I think has at least 3 years left at Iowa. He gained 19 pounds, and at 6'3", he weighs 314 pounds now. And then one of the defensive backs, a guy that I really liked, and he made an interception in the spring game, Styles, is one of our 3 decorated safeties that we brought in as far as transfers. He's gained 17 pounds, and he's up to 207. Most people aren't talking about him being in the race for any starting or anything, but you never know. We got a whole fall practice to go. And then the true freshman, Billy Wivalda from Georgia, he put on 16 pounds. And then the big guy that looks so good in a uniform from Waterloo West, Carson Nielsen, he put on 16 pounds, and he's up to about 315 pounds. He's a left tackle. And then Thomas Myers, the second-year tight end, has put on 16 pounds, and now he's up to like 246.
He should help with the blocking this year.
Yeah, well, I think he'll help with everything from what you're hearing. And then Kamari Brown, the defensive end who set a record for sacks at Elon, he's put on 14 pounds, and I think he's up to 262 maybe or something like that. And then the kid I really like, who I thought he looked so good in the spring game as a kind of a slot tight end, Mason Woods, he's put on 17 pounds already. He weighs 230. And then Hecklinski, this is big news. Hecklinski's 5'9", and he always weighed like 185. He's up to 201. I'm sure the coaches are overjoyed with that. The more muscle he has, the more, like, if he runs, he can take a pounding better. And then a true freshman from Minnesota, Jezierski, he's a defensive tackle. He's gained 10 pounds up to 285. But in high school, he weighed 300, Dean. They took weight off of him, and now they're putting it back on.
Yeah, that's what Iowa does. Like I said, they if they don't like where you're at weight-wise and what your body looks like, they strip you down and build you back up.
So obviously he was down to 275 during the spring when they were taking that blubber off. and then the guy that Dean already commented pre-show to me, well, what about Diaz? The great wide receiver, supposedly great wide receiver that we don't know that he's really great, but we're hoping. He put on 8 pounds to get up into the 180s, which is a big deal. 8 pounds of muscle on a fast wide receiver is good stuff. And then, who is this? Oh, Jacob Wallace, who was a very good true freshman cornerback cash last year in that Nebraska game and in the bowl game. But he was very skinny. He's put on 8 pounds. So he's up in the 180s now. And then Jimmy Sullivan, just shocking. Jimmy Sullivan has went from when he come to Iowa, he was 175 as a quarterback, which is not heavy enough, right, Dean?
Right.
Now he's eating Addie Deal's cooking, but 205.
I could guarantee that he ain't eating Eddie Deal's cooking.
No, he ain't.
He's in the weight room.
I just thought it was funny. But anyway, obviously the coaches like that. Jimmy must be a good worker. I bet the coaches like him.
I think right now he's probably our number 3 quarterback.
There ain't any doubt about that. They like his running ability. He's probably the best. What do you call it? 2-skill quarterback, running and passing put together. He's got a buggy whip of an arm. And
so he's like our quarterback last year.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's got a better arm. I think he's got a better arm than Gronk did. But
okay, before you move on, Toll House says He just wants to say they take off the fat and put on the muscle. Okay, I was saying the same thing when I said they tear him down and build him back up. So
Yeah, I knew Marshall Yonder and Anamosa when I lived there, and he had muscles in his fingers. When he'd come to the Jones County Fair, the great Jones County Fair, during the summer when they were off, and he'd shake his hand. He was a different kid at Iowa, and Doyle and the weight crew gets the credit for that. We still have a great weight program. The other guy is Moulton put on weight. He's up to 211, so he's about the same weight as the other running back who lost 14 pounds is LJ Phillips. He was weighing 225 at 5'11". Now he only weighs 211. He's the same weight as Moulton. I'm sure they wanted Moulton to put on some weight to break tackles, and they wanted Phillips, who breaks tackles about as good as anybody on the team. They wanted to speed him up. So they got LJ Phillips down to 211, Moulton up to 211.
So, never having been in the football program, do they build up their leg muscles too so that they can be more powerful to break tackles and grind faster?
They do that through squats. That Fitzgibbons kid I mentioned first, he set the squat record as a freshman at Iowa at defensive tackle. That was very impressive,
And here I thought women did squats to build up their butts.
I don't know about that. And then Devin Kennedy, who come into Iowa as a skinny athletic defensive tackle, has gotten himself up to 281. He's a third-year guy. I call him a redshirt sophomore, but he's a third-year guy is what Dean and them guys would call him. Vanderzee is up to 220 now, so he is a big wide receiver. And then another very important one, I mentioned LJ Phillips losing weight to be faster at running back. Bryce Stevenson came in. He's a transfer, and he's only 6 foot tall. And, he weighed like 300 pounds. They took the baby fat off him. And I heard the defensive coach say he's much quicker now, but he's 287 now, and that's good. And then Carson Cooney, who played 235 in high school as a linebacker, they got him down to 222. So they must have wanted him to get faster, or they're switching him to Leo. Your Leo linebacker has to be smaller and faster, so that's possible there. I only got 2 more guys, Dean. Bear with me. The other one's Trent Wilson, who the coaches really like in practice, the guy that has 4 years left, the transfer who's plays guard, tackle, whatever, and they really like him. They've taken 10 pounds off him. And he come from James Madison. They probably want him to lose that fat too. So, and then
I think in those smaller schools don't have much of a weight program.
Well, and I think a lot of schools, like if over the years, when we compared Kirk Ferentz's offensive lineman to the Wisconsin offensive lineman, and they said, gosh, I wish we had an offensive line that averaged 330 pounds like Wisconsin. Well, they were fat slobs. And I'm sorry, Kirk Ferentz is one of the greatest offensive line gurus in the history of football. He does not like fat slobs. That's why Marshall Yanda, Wirfs, Linderbaum, they're the highest paid guys at their position. Brandon Scherf was not a fat slob, But the last guy I'm disappointed in, Joseph Anderson, 6'6", and he come into Iowa, he probably only weighed about 205 or 210. He is up to 241. But he didn't gain much weight. I was hoping he'd get up in the 260 area, so he's a tremendous athlete, like rushing the passer and everything. But you'd like to see him way closer to 260 so he can actually play run defense, but maybe he'll be one of them special. You always hear about hybrids on the offense, like Noah Fant and stuff. And now Mason Woods and Puka Nakua, however you say his name. But maybe Anderson could be like a hybrid on defense where he comes in and on pass downs or something and just rushes the quarterback or something like that. And that's my rundown on all the weights. I went through all 112 of them, and I wrote down the ones that I thought were newsworthy.
Yeah. So I found something interesting that you sent today. I did read it or listen to it, whatever it was. I can't remember, about the Ronnie Lester recruitment that Lute Olson did. I found it funny how Lute would drive up there every Friday night up into where Ronnie Lester lived in the Chicago area, and it wasn't a very good or safe part of town. Ronnie Lester had to convince a friend to watch Lute Olson's car while he was inside recruiting.
I think Lute paid a neighbor to watch his car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad when you go and you got to pay somebody to watch your car.
There's a lot of recruiting stories like that. Bobby Knight told one about when he went into Isaiah Thomas's house, and it's sad when people have to grow up in an area like that, but it is what it is, right, Dean? I mean, what are you gonna do?
And now Ronnie can afford to live anywhere he wants to. He doesn't have to live in the hood. He probably got his mom a new house out of the hood.
Yeah, his rookie contract, he bought her a condo, and John Streif drove all the way from Iowa City and helped move her stuff into her condo. John Streif was a great guy. Ronnie lives in Florida now, by the way. So
okay, cool.
Retired. I hope he comes back pretty soon. Him and that Final Four team. Got to have an anniversary coming up, in a few years. So 50 years would be 2030, right? So
1980. So the Final Four teams 1980 and
2030.
So 2030 would be their 50-year anniversary.
Yeah. So
wow.
I like it when they're invited.
You know what? That'll be my 50-year wedding anniversary too. That's the year they went to the Final Four. The year I got married.
If we want to go back to the Final Four, Dean has to get married again.
I don't want to wait till the 50th anniversary. That's for sure.
Well, I'm sure your wife would be kind of mad if you married somebody else. So.
Yeah, we're actually going to be married this month for 46 years. I want to shoot. Here's a Isaiah Thomas recruiting story. Let me see if I can get it up here. I got to get a new mouse. I think my issues are the mouse because it's been happening on other sites too. The whole Isaiah Thomas recruiting was really strange. Remember, he almost went to Iowa. I did not remember that. Did you? You probably did because you were heavily into recruiting in those days.
He's talking about Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
You said Ronnie Lester. He did go to Iowa.
Did I say Ronnie Lester when I read that?
Yeah. Yeah. Isaiah was Illinois, DePaul, Indiana, and Iowa, if I remember right. And the Illinois fan pissed Isaiah off because he came walking out of the locker room, and an Illinois fan come out and rubbed his hair, and he had just fixed his afro, and it pissed him off. And Lute seen that, and he said he ain't going to Illinois. But anyway,
I'm surprised we weren't able to get him. I'm surprised, but Bobby Knight was probably a bigger draw in those days.
Bobby Knight had a big selling point.
He had some championships under his belt.
Well, why would you go to Iowa where Ronnie Lester is? So Lute told him that him and Ronnie'd be a perfect backcourt, which they would have been.
Oh, I didn't know they played at the same time. I was thinking Isaiah Thomas came along after Ronnie Lester's years.
And then Ronnie, they actually played together on the Pan American team that Bobby Knight, Isaiah was a high school kid and Ronnie was a junior. And they played on the Pan American team with Mike Woodson and stuff. But I believe that's right. But
Hawkeyes says that his second
then
choice after DePaul was Iowa.
His second choice after DePaul, his first choice was Indiana.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm confused by that comment, but I read it. So
I think Iowa came in second. Everybody thought he was going to Iowa because Isaiah's mom loved Lute and Isaiah loved Bobby Olson and everything. But I think Ronnie Lester was the deal. Then the thing was, Ronnie Lester was hurt his whole senior year, so Ronnie would have been running the show. Isaiah would have been running the show anyway.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Ronnie Lester, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, all in the league in the Big Ten at the same time. Isn't that crazy?
Calvin Ramsey was in there. And,
we had some talent. We had some talent there, buddy.
Yeah, Calvin Ramsey's who the Portland Trailblazers. They drafted Ronnie Les. They drafted Calvin Ramsey 6th in the draft. And then they traded Calvin Ramsey. They traded Ronnie to the Bulls for Calvin Ramsey. They were in the same draft and they were both top 10 picks. But the Bulls wanted Ronnie Lester because he was the best one, but he was drafted a little lower because of his knee, of course. But,
yeah. Toehouse says that Isaiah's mother ultimately chose Indiana.
Yep, so, and probably I think for a suitcase full of money.
Yeah. So I think what it was is Isaiah was headed to DePaul, and if it wasn't DePaul, it was going to be Iowa. But his mom intervened and said, "No, it's Indiana." That's what I'm guessing. Am I right, Toehouse? Okay.
I don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way it happened. But I think. Hey. I think Isaiah was going to the Big Ten, either Illinois, Indiana, or Iowa, and the Illinois fan pissed him off. And then his mother made him go to Indiana, even though his mother loved Lute Olson, but it was for other reasons,
Yeah, well, Isaiah won a championship while at Indiana, I believe.
Yep, his sophomore year.
Toehouse says that's the way he remembered it. Google backs me up.
I just remember from Isaiah Thomas's interviews of today and what I was writing about recruiting at the time. So
yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. You want to explain your background about recruiting so people know, those that don't know you that well?
I helped a guy called Hawkeye. It was called HRN back in the day. It was the only Hawkeye recruiting publication you could get. It was like a newsletter that come out every 2 weeks. And I helped a guy named Paul Betcher. My name was never on it or anything, but he'd give me phone numbers to call, and I do how I do researching and stuff, and I helped him with that. And
hey, wait a minute! You actually called the recruits to talk to them?
No. Usually it was a coach.
Mm-hmm.
It was usually a coach. You did not talk to recruits.
No, but recruiting services would, right? Or news media would if you're writing about recruits.
And
Tom Kicker interviews recruits.
Yeah. But Tom Kicker does. Newspaper guys try to talk to recruits, but no, that's not what we did because we knew, we weren't eloquent like Tom Kakert and Chad, and we could say the wrong things and piss them off. Yep. I don't want any recruits. I do not want any recruits on your podcast. I know you'd love to have them on, and I don't want their parents on here because I don't. It's just it can read. Oh, what a tangled web we weave.
Okay, I would never bring on a recruit that wasn't committed. Yeah, but if somebody commits, I would love to have them on this show.
Because I don't want to piss off Jan Jensen. So anyway, or Ben or Kirk or anything, but and then I called a lot of, like, Vernon Rollins. I was involved in that from Hackensack, New Jersey. But the guy I talked to all the time was, boy, the East Coast is weird. It's like the mafia or something, you know. And I always talked to a newspaper reporter there. And I kind of broke the news when Vernon Rollins, two guys committed that night, and Vernon Rollins was one of them, and he was one of the greatest linebackers Iowa ever had. Unfortunately, he totally destroyed his knee when he was like a junior or something at Iowa. And boy, was he a big middle linebacker, about 6'4", 260 pounds. And the other guy that committed was that guy from, was he from Harvey Thornton? Thigpen. His last name was Thigpen, and he was an All-American, played cornerback at Iowa, came in with Vernon Rollins. That was the other guy I was on the phone that night. They both committed like a day or two, the night before signing period or a couple nights before signing period. But that's my little story there. So
Nick Slick says, it'll be nice to honor that 1980 Final Four team with a national championship banner unveiling in 2030. They didn't win a game in the Final Four. They lost both games. And yes, they played 2 games in the Final Four. The last time that's happened, Iowa made history that year because they were the last team, them and I believe Purdue, to play that consolation game.
Purdue and Joe Barry Carroll. And I know we beat Purdue that year during the season, I think.
But we didn't beat them in the Final Four.
Well, not without Ronnie Lester, no. We were talking about Ronnie Lester, and that was the whole key.
Yeah, I know it.
It was like we could have. Lute still said till his dying day we'd have won a national championship if Ronnie.
Oh, wait a minute. Nick Slick. Okay, I'm going to come back to your comment, Tollhouse. Nick Slick says that he goes, I'm saying we're winning a national championship in 2030. So wouldn't that be cool to bring back the Final Four team of 1980 and the year we win the national championship with under Ben McCollum?
Yeah, I like.
If we win a national championship in 2030, that would be 3 seasons from now. Yeah, Ben McCollum will be so sought after.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking the other day?
What?
Of course, our friend Steve Crafton would get to come back and maybe help raise the banner on the 2030 championship. But anyway, I was thinking the other day, you know, I guess they're going to put up an Elite Eight banner up for this year's team. I think it'd be cool if they brought all the Elite Eight guys back, you know, that are alive, Ed Horton and BJ. And them guys from the last one in 87 or whenever that was, and they would stand in a circle around last year's team when they raised the banner. I think that would be cool. That we get to see them guys again, you know. But
our 87 team didn't go to the Final Four.
I said the Elite Eight.
Oh, yeah, the Elite Eight, yeah.
Yeah, we can't raise no Final Four banner this year. But,
the thing that sucks is that 87 team is they should have been in the Final Four.
Well, yeah.
They hurt themselves in that game.
Well, Kevin Gamble was the guy carrying the team. He won the Sweet 16 game for us with that shot, and he had like 18 points at halftime, but in 2 minutes in the second half, he had 4 fouls. So that's what beat us in that game.
Yeah, it's funny because we're at one point late in the first half, we were up 22 points. You think we're going to the Final Four, that Vegas ain't coming back. They come back in the second half, and they just started off from the get-go. It just like started falling apart right away.
I think Ben will get us to more than one Final Four if he stays here any good amount of time at all. So.
I think he's going to stay. He said this was his dream job, Iowa. He really wanted to be there. He never thought he'd have the opportunity to be here, but he's here.
I
And I
think
know
so
he's
too.
saying all the right things, but we'll see if that actually holds true.
I think so too. This is his team. This is his school.
Yeah.
I know he never went to Iowa, but he's been a Hawkeye fan his
Yeah.
whole life.
I think Iowa needs to get ready to pony up some money to keep him so he doesn't run off to a North Carolina,
I think
Kansas,
I
or somewhere
think
like that.
I think as long as fans and donors give him enough NIL money, he don't care. He don't care if he makes $5 million a year or $7. You
Where's the
know,
NIL money coming from now that
donors.
the storm is gone? They
Beth
want to
Beth
donate the money to the flight, but the flight they use that money differently than NIL.
Beth was very smart. She had the big donor money. She had them meetings with them before she ever hired Ben. And Tom Caker reported when everybody thought, oh, she's after Darren DeVries. Tom Caker reported, no, she told the big donors who wanted Fran out in the first place that the number one choice is Ben McCollum. Don't be believing what you're reading. And she set it up where Ben got all this NIL money. The first year they took it from Kirk for Ben to buy Sturts and Alvaro and them, Hausen and people like that. And now she's got them lined up. So Beth really has got it all set up. Ben's got plenty of NIL money to sign Mr. Daughtry. There's no worries there.
I'm going to try to catch us up on some comments here.
Yeah.
Beth Getz, this is from Toll House. Beth Getz is entering, I believe, her third year. Does that include her interim year too, or is that not her interim year? Okay, as Iowa AD, I believe she's done a really good job. What do you guys think? I'm thinking Iowa State will want to hire someone similar to her with their next hire, and I don't have to really ask Kelvin if what he thinks because he told us earlier in the show.
The only place Beth will go is to a big program, and Iowa State. Iowa State is pretty much the only schools. If you got football, the only schools that have enough money now is a SEC or a Big Ten school, unless you're Texas Tech, who has all this oil money. But she is not going to Iowa State. They don't have enough income, revenue, and TV money. The Big 12 TV contract is so much smaller. Probably every Big Ten school this year will take in, I don't know, $200 million in TV money. Every Big 12 school will take in like $90 million.
Yeah.
That's the difference between the Big Ten contract and the SEC contract. They both have huge TV contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. That's why Texas and Oklahoma left. They wanted more TV revenue money. Toll House says she has made some very difficult, controversial decisions, which I agree with. Other than Brian Ferentz, what other person did she fire or hire?
Fran. Fran,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
I knew
How
she
could we
was going to
forget?
get rid of. I knew she was getting rid of Fran because of the attendance. That's why they got rid of Tom Davis was attendance. And it was worse under Fran. And I knew they were going to get rid of Fran. I don't know if it was that controversial, but some people didn't expect it. Is she going to have the balls to fire Fran? Well, she was pretty much forced to fire Fran because of attendance. But
yeah, because they weren't making the revenue. Basketball is a revenue-making sport, and if you're only getting 5,000 fans in the seat, you don't have enough. I think honestly, I think he had less coming in than Licklider did, because tickets were really cheap, and Licklider was their years. They were letting people in for $5.
Yeah.
Okay. Toll House says, I'm not saying that Iowa State hires Beth. I'm saying they might look for someone similar to her background. We keep Beth. Yeah, I agree with you, Toll House. I when I read your statement, I probably didn't read it correct to Calvin. He probably thought you were saying something about she go to Iowa State, but I knew what you meant.
I already said earlier in the podcast I was afraid of. It's a school like Michigan who just got their AD job is open starting today. But knowing them, a Michigan, they'll hire a Michigan guy. you know.
Got a Michigan man.
That's right.
Where did I read somewhere where somebody he'd been playing sports and his mother said something about to him, my Michigan boy. He says, I think I'm old enough to be called Michigan man now.
Mhm.
Okay, righty. Let's move on to the women's basketball. On3 wrote an article, and I thought if you guys haven't seen the On3 article, you have to pay to see it. And so, but there's some interesting. I can't remember who wrote this. This might have been Kaker. I can't remember. On the women, his impression of the women.
It's
practice.
usually Kyle Huseman usually writes all the women's stuff on there. But go ahead.
Alrighty. Clark is starting. Rick just said Fever Aces on NBC. Clark starting. Hey Rick, the link is on there. Why don't you come on for a few minutes? Even though I know you're probably tired from golfing. Did you beat your son? Todd Spiker says I can't wait for Hawkeye sports this fall and winter. Cool.
Me either.
Only got 60 plus.
days.
Only got 65 days until kickoff.
No, it's more like 55 because yesterday was 57, I think.
Okay, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, Big Ten Media Days is coming up when? This week, next week?
The end of July.
Okay, it seems to me we always did it around the 17th to 15th or something.
Okay.
Before.
Okay.
We'll see. It might be next week.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking around the 25th or something was like 25th is a Wednesday because I have a doctor's appointment. I was thinking it was right around there. But anyway.
So Iowa personal media day is usually the like a day or two after practice officially starts. This year they're waiting until Kids Day, right, to do it?
It's the 14th of August, and then Kids Day is the 15th.
Okay, alrighty. Okay, let's get into the women real quick. I want to.
So what'd you read there on On3?
Okay, well, the person who went, it might have been Kyle Huseman. He went and watched practice. He said that it was definitely a work in progress. They got some communication issues going on there, maybe some passing issues. But he also broke down some of the players like McKenna Velasco. He's impressed with their 3-point shooting. She's not missing much. Jocelyn Faison is good off the dribble. She can get to the hoop off the dribble and can play 1 through 4 positions. So she will be a valuable sub because she can play anywhere. Off the bench, Chit Chat watched a lot of the Virginia film over and over. She wanted to see what she can improve on, and she's been more vocal and more confident this year. And I think I can see that it took her a while last season to really get going because, she just took over for Lucy Olson, who took over for Caitlin Clark. So, she comes onto a whole new team and she's not sure where she fits and, if the teammates respect her enough. But I think after a full year, she realizes that she can be the leader on the floor, can be vocal, and she's going to have to be because, she's a junior this year. They're most impressed with Journey this summer. Journey's made a lot of improvement. And as we stated before, Journey's lost some weight. And that's all I got. I just wanted to go over some of the highlights of some of the things that are going on.
Can I ask? You got another comment there?
No.
Oh, I want to throw out a question. I was hoping that somebody else would be on too, so it wouldn't just be me and you. What season, with this upcoming season, can you think of? Because I know a good answer to this. Can you think of a season that was very similar roster-wise, experience-wise at Iowa before, through your years of watching Iowa? What year is a lot like this year coming up for 2026 for the Iowa football team?
You guys can either come on live and tell us your answer, or you can put it in the comments. But I got one.
I bet you do.
For me, it's 2008.
Okay.
which means we're going to have a mediocre season this year. Next year, we're just going to kick butt.
2008 is that where Stanzi took the job over about the 5th game?
I think so, and that's also, I think, the year of Sean Green.
Oh, so we had a good year?
Oh, we didn't have a great year with Sean Green.
Okay.
He had a great year, but this team didn't.
I know. I remember.
Let me look that up.
I remember totally Sean Green's year, 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
He was here another year, but didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he took a couple of years off and came back.
He was a prep school kid, and he was only. Well, anyway, I remember him running all over Wisconsin. Oh my God. That was just incredible what he did to Wisconsin. I think he had 200 yards against Wisconsin. We kicked Wisconsin's rear end. So we kicked Wisconsin at least 2 years in a row then, 2008 and 2009. So,
well, I want to bring something up.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. We went 9-4 in 2008.
Yeah,
we beat Maine, we beat Florida International, we beat Iowa State, lost to Pittsburgh, lost to Northwestern, lost to Michigan State, then we beat Indiana, beat Wisconsin, lost to Illinois, beat Penn State, beat Purdue, beat Minnesota, and beat South Carolina.
Yeah, I think Illinois might have went to the Rose Bowl that year. But
we beat Minnesota 55-0 that year.
Yeah, I remember the Pitt game. We lost that, and it was all because of, Jake Christensen was bad, and then Stanzi, Kirk said he put Stanzi in, and Stanzi, I'm sure Stanzi threw 2 or 3 interceptions. I remember Stanzi in his first game was just awful, but Kirk seen something in Stanzi, like a leadership or something. And then Stanzi was real good at handing the ball off to Sean Green. I remember we kicked somebody's rear end in the bowl game that year, and they interviewed Sean Green right out in the end zone, the network did, and he goes, "I'm announcing I'm going to the NFL draft." I thought, oh, shoot. But anyway. Yeah, but I can't remember who we played, Georgia Tech or somebody. I don't know who it was. But.
Yeah. Okay, so Toll House, his answer is the 1990 season, sharing the Big Ten championship after a sub-500 the year before. No expectations. Yeah, we went 5-6 in '89 and 8-4 in 1990. We beat Cincinnati, won against Iowa State, lost to Miami of Florida. I remember that game. Yep. We beat Michigan State, Wisconsin, Michigan, Northwestern, Illinois. Lost to Ohio State.
3 of the last 4 games we lost, I think.
Yeah. We lost to Ohio State 27-26.
And I think I
actually remember that. I actually remember that.
I remember that because we totally dominated Ohio State. And the last
was that the game?
The last play of the first half, their big quarterback, I can't remember his name, but he threw this long pass, like Bobby Olive or something, and Merton Hanks, one of the greatest players ever at Iowa. The quarterback really threw it to him. He was 10 yards behind the receiver, and the ball bounced. He went to catch it like this, and it hit right off his breastplate on his shoulder pads and ricocheted right to Bobby Olive, who was on a dead run, and it was like a 60-yard touchdown pass to end the first half. And then the last play of the game, they threw another pass to Bobby Olive. It was like we dominated that game. But,
weren't we wrong in that 1990 game? Maybe since Todd Spiker brought it up, maybe he knows the answer to this. But weren't we highly ranked that year until we lost to Ohio State?
Yeah. When we beat Illinois was ranked like number 3, and we were ranked like number 15, and we went in there and we just stomped them. Nick Bell had 200 yards, and Tony Stewart had 130. Mike Devlin just buried Mo Gardner, their All-American nose guard. And after that game, Illinois wasn't number 3 anymore, and we were like number 6. And
Yeah.
but we, and I think there was like a 3 or 4-way tie for the Big Ten title that year, but we got to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, we went to the Rose Bowl and lost to Washington 46 to 34.
Yeah.
Sadly, we lost to Minnesota in the last game of the season, 31 to 24. We beat Purdue 38 to 9.
Yeah. The reason I picked 1986 was because the year before, of course, was the great team, and about our whole defense graduated. Jay Norvell, was it Hap Peterson? About that whole defense, Larry Station, about all of them graduated, just like our defense did this year. And Mark Vlasic, who never played much at Iowa, was our quarterback. But he was a guy that had been at Iowa, so he knew the offense and everything. We got 2 quarterbacks that know the offense, and we got a whole new defense about. And so that's why I picked 1986. And then
let's go through the 1986 schedule.
86, we come very close. I mean, we went to Michigan, and I think we lost like 16 to 13. And I could never understand Hayden and Bill Snyder, great coaches. It's like 4th and 1 in Michigan territory, and we didn't kick no field goal to tie it, or maybe the field goal wouldn't win it. But he ran an option play with Mark Vlasic, who couldn't run, and he pitched it to a fullback, Richard Bass, and we lost like 3 yards. I thought that was the worst play call in the history of man. But that team, even though they were so young, and they were pretty much very mirrored to what this team is bringing back. Mm-hmm. And then, we had a good running back coming back, David Hudson, but he blew out his quadricep in the Drake. I think it was the Drake game, or something like that. And I hope we don't have injuries like that this year.
Yeah. I wanted to point something out here. 1991, we had a 10-1 regular season.
10-1-1.
Yep, and then we tied Brigham Young 13 to 13, BYU, in the Holiday Bowl. If we were 10-1, what the hell were we doing going to the Holiday Bowl?
It was because Michigan beat us.
Michigan beat us, but wasn't there a higher bowl that we could have gone to?
They had the Big Ten had a special contract that year, and BYU was like a great team. They had Ty Detmer, the Heisman Trophy winner, everything, and we were kicking their ass, and I don't know why. You can't blame Kirk Ferentz for it
because he wasn't there.
Yeah, we were ahead like 10-0 at halftime, and just really doing good against them. Leroy Smith was sacking Ty Detmer every time he went back to pass, and then we just it's like we didn't try offensively the second half, But
then it gets okay. So we have this 10-1-1 season. The next year we go 5-7. The next year after that we go 6-6. The year after that we go 5-5-1.
Yeah, I remember.
It looks to me like Hayden Fry, when he started losing all of his coaches to go to other schools, that he couldn't keep up with. Maybe Hayden was good at psychology and hiring the right assistant coaches, but maybe he himself couldn't coach.
Hayden was
because he spent, he lost all of his great coaches.
Yeah, and it's good to keep your coaches, of course, but it's also good to keep guys like I mentioned, Vernon Rollins ruining his knee. It's good to. Our friend Scott Slutzker was at Iowa at that time, and he was on a really good team. Slutzker was. Remember we beat Washington in the Sun Bowl? Was that in
1995, 38-18.
Yeah, you must have it right in front of you. But
I do.
I
keep this after last week when we needed to have these stats. I got it out. This book is outdated for records and stuff,
Yeah.
But because they don't make the media guide anymore, they haven't for about 3 or 4 years.
What year is that guide?
They make it online now. It's all digital now.
Yeah. What year is that guide?
This guide is the last one they made. I think it was 2023.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I keep it handy, and then I of course I've been adding my own page of the games and losses and wins and stuff for the following season, so that I can at least have those.
Yeah, one thing I sent out to people this week was a video about Kirk's career at Iowa, and the video was put out in 2024 or something. And anyway, after his first 2 seasons at Iowa, which would have been 99 and 2000, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his third year, 2001, they won 7 games. And since then, 2001 through 2025, which would be 25 years, he's only had 2 losing seasons in those 25 years. He went 4-8, and the last year he didn't win half his games. Was his 4-8 year in 2012. So that's how a great a stretch Kirk has had.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty bad year. 4-8 and 2-6.
Yep, that was he had two new coordinators that year. Norm wasn't able to even go to practice anymore, so he hired Phil on defense, and that was the worst defense Kirk probably ever had at Iowa. And Phil said he was not prepared to be a coordinator at that point. But
yeah,
and then Greg Davis come in and tried putting in an offense that needed Texas athletes, and we didn't have the Texas athletes. Ruined Vandenberg, Vandenberg was a good quarterback.
We lost 6 games in a row to finish the season. Penn State, Northwestern, Indiana, Purdue, 21 Michigan, and number 14 Nebraska. Geez, that might be the last time Nebraska was ranked.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that was Kirk's last losing season, and oh gosh, you have to go back to 2006 to see his previous. So
yeah,
his previous losing season, and of course his first 2 seasons at Iowa were losing. And like you said, since then he's only had 2 losing seasons. And
his first 2 seasons put together, he won 1 game and then 3. He upset Penn State in that second year, but he had 4. He talks about it all the time. He says, "I love the University of Iowa." He said, "When I went 4-19, they kept me around, and I appreciate it." So. Nowadays, nobody would have kept him around, probably.
Yeah. Tollhouse says, I could coach Ohio State. Heck, I could coach Ohio State with all that talent. Just throw them out there and let them do their thing.
Yeah. Well, I could be their head coach because I'd hire good assistant coaches.
Yeah. Tollhouse says, and yet they rank Kirk Ferentz, I believe, number 6 in the Big Ten coaches. What a joke. Yeah, I think they've actually got some new coaches in the league ranked ahead of him who haven't even proven themselves in the Big Ten yet.
I've seen some of them, and I don't know if it was Phil Steele or something. They put out where they thought the Big Ten teams would finish this year, and they had Iowa 9th, which it's possible. You have injuries, you finish them, but the team right in front of them was Nebraska. It's like, are you crazy? Why would anybody pick Nebraska to have a good season? Their team ain't as good as last year's, and it sure the hell ain't as good as the year before. I don't understand.
Because one year, if you keep picking Nebraska, one of these years you're going to get right. All right, I got to run this commercial for Cocaine Coffee. We'll be right back. All righty, we're back.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this, Dean.
What?
I mean, the Fever with, Caitlin playing some minutes, and everything. They're ahead of the Las Vegas Aces at the end of the first quarter, 31-22.
Okay, yeah.
It's like who would have thought that?
Yeah.
You know?
My screen just shrunk.
Well, parts of me shrink, but usually when it's really cold.
Yeah. We're not going there. We're not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, nobody knows what I was talking about.
Oh, come on.
I
You
was
think our
talking about-
you
I was
think our
talking about
listeners
my-
you think
I
our
was talking
listeners are
about-
dumb?
I was talking about my car tires, Dean.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Okay,
So-
alrighty. I'm just trying to figure out how to get my screen back to full size again.
I cannot understand how the Indiana Fever run their team. I just
Why
can't.
is that? Why is that?
Well, they do the dumbest things. It's like you got Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell. Why do you draft Raven Johnson? You could have had a 6'6" center, Okot, who is you need more stretch to your team. And then they do something really good and they draft that Passat girl,
And
who's
then they get rid of her. Then they get rid of her.
She's a 6'3" shooter. She's something that's what you look for in the WNBA. Young players with length that are usable in the future, because you can't afford to pay more than the Caitlin, Kelsey, Boston, Cunningham, and Hull. In the future, you got to have young players at positions you need. They need a big girl to help Boston. Okot would have been perfect. And then they cut Passat to re-sign somebody else. It's like, why did you keep Dantas, who is an older player that makes some money? And
can I be honest with you? I think Caitlin decides, and they get rid of and bring in who Caitlin says.
I don't think Caitlin wanted Raven Johnson drafted. She's very nice to Raven and their buddies, but I don't think that's what Caitlin wanted. I don't know.
Okay, how's Caitlin doing so far?
Caitlin's just a player. She don't run nothing in India. But I just couldn't understand. I can't understand the Fever. Me and Rick were talking during the WNBA draft, and I said, well, who would you draft? And he said, you go, who would you draft, Calvin? And I go, Okot. Oh, I don't know if should be drafted that high, which was like 12th or 11th or whatever, wherever the Fever drafted.
I thought the Fever didn't have a draft pick until the second round.
I think Okot might have went to Angel Reese's team. And she's like the backup center at 6'6", and every game she scores like 8 points and is like 3 out of 4 from the field and has 8 rebounds.
We got a question, Stephanie White and staff's valuation of talent, and what they're seeing, because by the way, isn't that Passat? Didn't she go to the Aces?
Yeah, she's with the Vegas in her first game. She scored 19 points in 1 quarter.
So what is she doing tonight so far?
Probably ain't even playing.
Okay, so she
I just
came off the
watching
bench.
the game out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah,
I doubt that she's probably going to be one of them players that plays, not a lot, probably. But.
Yeah. Well, I think this podcast has run its course, and I think it's time to get out of here.
Yep.
We don't want to just stretch it to 2 hours just to stretch it for 2 hours.
That'd be good with me, Dean.
Guys, don't forget to order your cocaine coffee from cocainecoffee.com and use Villains15 for your 15% off. And I promise I'll get some for you guys. And we'll get my wife on here. She doesn't know it yet to rave about it. Oh, it's right here on my phone, 3322.
Oh,
I did not realize my phone is tracking it. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay. There was a fake post on Facebook And I've seen some iClub members and stuff reposted it. Iowa gets a 5-star quarterback. I don't know what his name was, Cody Williams or something. Cody Williams does not even exist. I just wanted people out there, if you've seen anybody reposting it, just know that that's fake news. So,
Okay. Okay, I got to shoot this. I'm having trouble with the comments, but we do have a couple of more comments I want to read. Okay, Fever. Boy says Fever made a huge mistake getting rid of. Can't read it because the box is Nastasha and Howard, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he
He's
does
talking
mean
about other
Masad. He
players.
just spelled it funky.
Well,
Okay, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is you got to question their evaluation of talent. Okay, that's the last comment of the show. Boy, we got you on there.
see you Wednesday night.
Yep, we'll be back. Maybe we'll have some great news and anyway, there's this comment for everybody to see, and then we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Come back Wednesday night live right here on YouTube, on X. There you go.